This is Jackie Lyon, and this is the Lyon Legacy Health Hour. 18 years ago, Lou and I started this company. We noticed so many God-fearing, wonderful Christian people that were unhealthily, weak, and sick. In the service of God, every person has their unique area of service, and we feel God called us to be focused on health care. Our products are effective that you probably can't get anyplace else. Over the 18 years, we have had testimony after testimony of people telling us the magnets help them when nothing else would. The Lyon Legacy Health Hour is to communicate to you the message of health via properly designed therapeutic magnets and Chinese formulated food supplements. Call us for a free catalog at 800-778-5731. We'll give the number again in about 10 minutes. Lou did the show for many years, and we have an archive of amazing callers. So, here is Lou and his callers.
Hi, this is Lou Lyon with Lyon, and we're going to tell you today the history of magnetic or biomagnetic therapy. Most of you probably have very little knowledge of biomagnetics. It is something that has been used, however, in this world for thousands of years, first by the Egyptians all the way through the Orient, is being used widely across Europe today and in many, many places in the United States of America. Biomagnetics are capable of doing most of the healing in the human body. And they are actually, according to the scientists that have researched this and the doctors that are working with it, magnetism is the basis of all healing processes. A little bit about how we got started in this 4 years ago. 4 years ago, about now, we were living in another section of Wisconsin and we had a fire. Our house burned completely to the ground, and we lost practically everything we had in it. We decided we were going to move into South La Crosse area and live for a while in a mobile home until we could decide exactly where we wanted to locate. In the meantime, we had been working for several months with magnetics in the treatment of water and fuel. And we went to a convention in Las Vegas, Nevada, and were introduced to the field of biomagnetism in Nevada. We heard many stories at that convention about the miraculous healing power of magnetics. We took some samples back to La Crosse with us and found out that we were living next door to some people who had really a great need for what we are talking about. The gentleman that we're talking about had worked in one of the corporations here in La Crosse for over 35 years. He had, as he told me, saved his money, played it smart, figured that he was going to have one of the best retirements ever recorded. 6 years before this, however, his wife had had a terrible stroke. And when we first saw her, she was sitting in a wheelchair with her head cocked over to her right shoulder. The gentleman referred to as Gerald was complaining to us about the fact that his retirement had turned into a nightmare. He never could go anywhere. His wife didn't want to talk to anybody, really didn't want to see anybody, and certainly didn't want to participate in any activities outside her home. So he was pretty much nailed to just watching television. We asked him, Gerald, what happened? And he told us about this stroke. And he said that his wife was in terrible pain throughout the back of her neck, that she could only get comfortable, or close to being comfortable, by holding her head tightly onto her right shoulder. We gave him one of our biomagnetics, a small oblong magnet, and we told him, take this home, place it on the back of Myrtle's neck, where the pain is the worst, and let's see what it does. And he said, what's it supposed to do? And I said, well, from what I understand, these magnetics will relieve pain. Well, how long do I have to hold it there? I said, I have no idea. Could be 5 minutes, could be 5 years. I don't really know. But it's certainly worth some effort and a try. And he agreed. So he took that small magnet and he went into his house at 9:30 that morning and placed it on the back of his wife's neck, right where the pain was the worst, tied it on there with a scarf, and that was the last I saw of them until 4:30 that afternoon when I went to knock on his door. And he pulled the door open rather suddenly, and I looked through into the living room and saw his wife sitting on the couch with a long, big smile on her face. And I said, "Myrtle, what's going on here?" And she said, "Lou, for the first time in 6 years, I am out of pain." And I stood in the doorway with tears in my eyes. I couldn't believe it. Since that time, and this is almost 4 years ago now, the wheelchair is gone. The vehicle that they had to transport it has been sold. They now own a small Chevy, and when Gerald goes fishing, guess who's sitting in the boat with him? Myrtle. They have 17 children. You know, that might explain the stroke. And they travel all over the country visiting their kids most of the time. It has done exactly a 180-degree difference in their lifestyle. This is the point when I decided to get very serious about magnetic therapy. And we started to research it. We read books. We talked to doctors that were using it. We have been all over the United States doing not only magnetic research, but also applying and selling magnetic products to people from coast to coast. The things that we have seen happen in the last 12 months would almost class as miracles. I have seen people that were practically disabled with arthritic pain throw away crutches, throw away canes, walking as well as anybody else. I've seen people with high blood pressure. That high blood pressure was normalized within 7 to 10 days. This is only a few of the things that we have seen. In researching magnetic therapy, we have looked through books written by physicians, by scientists all over the world, and we find out that this is not at all unusual, that it has been known for some time. It seems that the ancient Egyptians were well aware of magnetic properties. And in the Orient, they've been using it for thousands of years. I am told by people from the country of Japan that there are 30 million Japanese people who actually depend on nothing more than magnetic therapy for their general overall health. The 30 million Japanese people, 10 million Japanese people sleep on what we call a magnetic mattress pad every night. This has been a real experience over the last 4 years. What we would like to do now is introduce you to these various products. We are going to take time in the next 3 weeks to discuss almost everything that we've used and introduce you to case histories that we have seen with our own eyes. We're also making a special offer during these broadcasts, and for the duration of these broadcasts only. We are going to offer you a complete catalog of all our equipment for $5. With this catalog, you will receive a pair of magnetic insoles that fit in your shoes. And believe me, if you have any pain in your feet or ankles, it'll shortly become history. These magnetic insoles normally sell for $15.50. You will receive the catalog and the insoles for a mere $5, which will cover the cost of handling. Many, many stories have come to our attention in the last year about magnetic therapy, and one of the most exciting is a gentleman that lives here in Wisconsin that was scheduled for open heart surgery. The day I saw him, he could barely walk from one end of his house to the other without having such a shortness of breath that he could barely make it. He bitterly complained that he loved to dance, and he hadn't been able to go dancing for a long time. We encouraged him to try a magnetic sleep or mattress pad sleep system, which is a very powerful magnetic unit. He slept on it for 2 weeks. He went into the hospital, and before they do the operation, I'm told that they scope these arteries to make sure where they have to cut to go in and relieve that congested artery. In this case, the arteries were cleared. There was no need for the surgery. And the weekend after that, this gentleman went dancing. Imagine that. It had been over a year or a year and a half since he'd had that pleasure. This is only one case history, or two, of the hundreds and hundreds of people that we have seen across this country as we traveled that magnetic therapy has helped. And it can help you, and it will help you. One of the wonderful things about Lion Magnetic Gold and Silver design, magnetic design, is that we offer a rather unique guarantee on all our products. We tell you that you have to try these products on your particular problem for a minimum of 30 days. At the end of that 30 days, if you have honestly given these products a trial, we will, if they have not helped you, refund every dime that you paid for them, without exception and with no arguments. We're not here to try to force something down somebody's throat. We have seen that these products help people, and it's brought us more joy than any amount of money could ever have brought us. So send for the catalog. Find out what kind of products are available. Apply them to your particular problem. If you have any questions about magnetic therapy and you want answers direct, you can call us, and we'll be very happy to discuss your individual problem with you. We'll be looking forward to hearing from you, and I assure you you'll really enjoy those magnetic insoles.
This is Jackie again. Many of you have listened to our shows on shortwave, some as long as 25 years. In case you haven't heard, Lou passed away in 2004. Since that time, the family continued to operate Lion Legacy. Magnetic therapy has not changed. It is the same 25 years ago as it is now. What has changed is studies that verify everything Lou said. What else has changed? Our level of certainty that magnets work. If you'd like more information, call us at 800-778-5731, or if you're calling on a cell phone or international, 608-526-2178. Our website is www.lyonlegacy.com. Our address is Lion Legacy International, Post Office Box 248, Holmen, that's Holmen, Wisconsin, 54636 in the United States. All that information again is 800-778-5731. International or cell phone calls 608-526-2178. Our website is lionlegacy.com. Our address is Post Office Box 248, Holmen, Wisconsin, 54636.